So first we are going to talk about how GMOs are bad for you, but before that I'm gonna recap about what Queenie said, and her claims are basically that a lot of people don't like GM foods. I actually did research on that, an accident, and it was so many countries, and it was Germany, France, and Turkey, and they totally just banned it, so they don't like GM foods. And her other claim was that they're bad for animals, like the monarch butterfly, which are really pretty. And so I'm going to start with that GMOs are unhealthy for you. Recent studies link GMOs to gluten disorders that affect 18 million Americans. This study talks about how GM foods have been known to trigger disorders like celiac disease. And for those of you who don't know what gluten is, it's a substance present in cereals, grains, and wheat. Cereal, grains, and wheat. Gluten is something our ancestors have been eating for centuries, and it was the main ingredient in everything back then. And so people living in poverty, they ate bread even if they ate bread. Mr. Thalhammer, he talked about how when they were in the war, how they ate fire cake and that has flour, which is gluten. So we've been eating it a lot, and I think it is unnatural for us to all of a sudden have disorders that we get sick because of it, and I think that is not real. And our ancestors did not have GMOs, so they didn't really have a problem back then because they ate it all the time. Another reason why GMOs are unhealthy for you is because of all the problems they cause. Numerous health problems increased after GMOs were introduced in 1996. The percentage of Americans with 3 or more chronic illnesses jumped from 7% to 13% in just 9 years. Doctors from the American Academy of Environmental Medicine encourage other doctors to describe non-GMO diets to all patients. No matter what it is, that there's always a possibility of that helping. Another reason why GMOs are bad is because they harm the environment. One way that GMOs harm the environment is a method called cross-pollination, and that's basically when a genetically modified field contaminates other fields. So it's if you had a big field of GM crops and a big field of wild crops, and they somehow mix DNA, then you just have 2 fields. And yeah. Another reason why GM crops harm the environment is because they poison nearby streams. If they are by a little stream, then they their pesticides and herbicides, they get into the water and they affect aquatic life, which helps feed the ducks and stuff. And so that's bad for the ducks. And finally, there's something called super weeds, and it's weeds that get they're how do I say it? They're they adapt to the herbicides, and they grow super big and choke out the plant, and it basically wastes the money that the government paid for the GM crops. So they just wasted a whole bunch of money because the weeds. So yeah, in conclusion, GMOs are bad because they have many health problems, which is for celiac disease, which is if you eat gluten, you get sick and you can't just digest your food. It's really bad for you. And they also harm the environment, cross-pollination and contaminating the water, the streams, and the super weeds that grow super strong, kill everything. So yeah.